Greetings, or what is up, and a very warm welcome to the channel. The sun is shining and the magpie is casting. Coming to you guys right now with a live 1 vs 1 replay featuring spawning in the north. It is going to be the United Kingdom forces of Elliot Sweden, whose plucky Tommies are going to be taking on the monster known as CaptainSPrice, playing as the Vermac pieces spawning in the south. On this Faymanville approach. Faymanville. It is Faymanville approach, right?
An infantry section of Tommies has been trained.
Oh, sorry, I just got to balance my volume levels here a second. Yeah, so this ought to be a pretty good game. Obviously, it was the top-rated game on the live lobby, on the live ladder lobby just now. I don't know anything about Elliot Sweden. Good screen name though. It looks like he's gone straight ahead and picked the Commando Regiment commander. Actually, not seen this one in use for some time, so let's refresh ourselves with this one. Commando glider insertion. That seems pretty cool. Available at 3 CP. Smoke grade operation. Okay, all right. That seems pretty cool too. Assault. Infantry squads move more quickly and have better attack. Recon planes fly. Okay, so it looks like quite a versatile early game toolkit here. More to cover. Alrighty then, and air supremacy operation. Oh, that's the heavy bombers one, isn't it? Okay, yeah, I remember that one. Wow, as an OKW player, I remember that one because that one would like routinely clear out my Schwerpanzer HQ and or my battle group at HQ with like my medics and stuff, and oh man, that is bad times. Anyways, here, it looks like CaptainSPrice gonna be showing us a slightly different build from what we may have been used to in the couple of previous games that I've cast of his on the channel. Gonna be going for a sniper here. So, going to be moving out onto the field, getting mine arse out of here. And this sniper going to be on the prowl, capping himself 2 Tommies already. Pretty good, of course, the British infantry, man for man, or shall I say skull for skull, if you're from a sniper's point of view. Worth more than most other targets, so this probably an adaptation to the fact that he's playing against the UKF. Now here comes a Bren carrier. Uh-oh, sniper gets spotted here. Oh, he's in negative cover, getting flustered across the open here. CaptainSPrice in a little bit of a bad position here. Looks like the Bren carrier does want to chase here. Faust comes down, engine gets broken, MG42 pillbox going to be hosing into that one, but the sniper is now back at home. Oh, line of sight going to be blocked here by the infantry company, and Price is going to be able to save the sniper. That one, pretty touch and go there. Ha-ha! And the Universal Carrier here is actually only decrewed, so Price has the option, if he wants, of grabbing himself a free scout vehicle here, and that might be pretty spicy. We'll have to see. This game already pretty interesting. And I'm already pretty happy, because let's face it, I'm a CaptainSPrice fanboy. You know, say what you like about the man, but as the player, I find him like just really entertaining to watch. Very creative, very unorthodox. He's got a very idiosyncratic in-game play style. That's what I mean. You know, you can tell from watching that you're watching CaptainSPrice. And yeah, I mean, let's see. So he's rolling, of course, with his mechanized assault doctrine. This is like his staple, his go-to. He loves this commander. I see him use this against USF and Soviets like a lot. I guess against UKF he may prefer something else, or maybe it's just on this map or on this on this occasion. It's just his mood. He doesn't feel like using the mechanized assault doctrine just right now. Anyway, he's also got the encirclement doctrine, which can be utterly brutal. I think that one's very map specific, and I suspect that this is one of the maps where it's slightly less cool, but we'll see. And he's actually bringing the Jaeger infantry doctrine, one of the commanders who is in the game on release, and one of the commanders that you just don't see very often, but you know, could be a very spicy option. Gives you the Jaeger light infantry upgrade, the ambush training, the Jaeger command squad, a veteran Jaeger unit. That's new. Huh. Oh, I'm really hoping we see that. Light artillery barrage and the Stuka close air support. So anyway, let's crack the tack here, because there's a combat going on sort of across a wide front here. Looks like Tommy's capping over in the west. In mid, looks like we've got a Vickers K up on a new Bren carrier here, going to be pushing back CaptainSPrice's units. Looks like Price did decide to grab himself the scout car, so we're going to have the unlikely spectacle here of 2 British scout cars going at it. They're not really scout cars, are they, these? They're more like, kind of like utility carriers. I'm calling them scout cars because they kind of fulfill that role in this game. But anyway, this ought to be a battle that Price's carrier will lose, because there's Tommies and there's a Vickers on the carrier for Sweden here. Looks like a couple of units over here in the west going to be branching out. Price trying to make some mischief in his opponent's backfield. Also going to try and go for a bit of fuel control. All good stuff to be doing. Resource differential, I've not really been keeping an eye on it, but Sprice right now... up pretty comfortably at 31 and 26 munitions and fuel respectively, over 6 and 4 of Elliot Roger, who finds his lines cut right now. So nice work by Price. Ever the disruptive, ever the aggressive player, always prefers to put his opponent onto the back foot rather than let them play their game while he plays his. So yeah, these Pioneers ought to be forced back, and I imagine that Roger Sweden here will have his backfield back in order here shortly. Sorry, for some reason all of my volume levels appear to be out of whack. I really hope this isn't going to affect the finished cast. I'm having to like balance them on the fly here because various things are too loud, various things are too quiet. Anyway, let's check in with the marksman. He's only got 3 headshots. Is he just waiting for medics? Okay, looks like Price here was just happy to wait for medics on this sharpshooter, and that does make sense. He's an incredibly expensive unit, and I mean, like the success of that one infantryman pretty much dictates the texture of the early game, especially when you're against UKF or USF. So yeah. Looks like Price taking no chances with the sniper. Going to heal that one up. If I crack the tack, you can see right now a lot of Price's units, all except these grenadiers in the north, going to be forced back to base to reinforce, rearm, repair, and that they're going to do hopefully here in short order, giving Roger Sweden here a chance to move out and claim some ground, perhaps even get this Vickers up into a really good position. I don't know what he's going to go for. It's actually going to run into these grenadiers, so a touch unlucky there for Roger Sweden. I would like him to get the Vickers, into this. This tends to be the most sought-after machine gun nest in the game, in the early stages of the game, on this map. But I mean, this building is also like serviceable, I suppose. That might have been where he was on his way to. Anyway, he's going to retask that MG, going to run it on somewhere else.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
And a pretty even game so far. Let's take a look at the force compositions here. Looks like we've got Sniper, 2 Pioneer, 2 Grenadier, and of course that Scout, the Gren Carrier here for CaptainSPrice. And let's quickly check the tech here for S-Price. What have we got? So phase 1 completed, and the Life of the Mechanized Company is complete. So I wonder if we'll see him take a choice from that. He has gone ahead and chosen his commander, actually. So we've got the Encirclement Doctrine is going to be the choice here. And Roger Sweden, so he's got 3 squads Tommies, 1 with Medkit, Royal Engineers, the Vickers, and a Bren with a Vickers upgrade. Looks like the Vickers is going to get itself into the middle machine gun nest here. That is probably going to give a lot of field control. Sniper's going to move in here to start taxing the manpower on that Vickers squad. Getting quite low now. I imagine we'll see Roger Sweden pull that one back. Meanwhile, in the south, we've got Pioneers versus a squad of Tommies. The Tommies ought to be taking that one in short order, but so far trading evenly. Have to keep an eye on that one, see which squad falls back first. Ought to be, like I say, the Pioneers falling back first. Oh, making good progress up here, actually. Squad of Pioneers caught out. The Royal Engineers getting on top of it. No danger of a squad wipe here. Looks like Price going to get that unit out of there in the nick of time. Looks like the 2 Bren Carriers also still going ham at each other here. And is there a chance for an overrun to get the Sniper here? I don't know. This seems like too risky of a play, especially when you've already gone for the Vickers on the Bren Carrier. Price here going to go for a pack gun, probably to counter that Bren. Let's check the tech here for the British player. So we've got, obviously, platoon command post, no choice on AEC or Beaufort. Company command post not yet up either. Weapon racks ain't done either. Oh, dearie me, that's my phone going off. Okay. Yeah, so no weapon racks, no infantry squad upgrades, no nothing like that. So probably we're going to see a quick company command here out of Roger Sweden, unless he's got some other plan for all this fuel he's stacking. Up to 135 now. Price, likewise, heading on up. So I imagine we'll see battle phase 2 like shortly, especially given that he's gone for Encirclement Doctrine. But time will tell. Where is this pack gun? Wow, even my mouse is being pretty glitchy today. Sorry guys, I hope this cast actually comes together like in a viewable state. We'll see. Sniper in a pretty risky position here. He's going to take a shot, but he's in the arc of a Vickers gun. That is risk AF. He sneaks it back behind the line of sight blocker, so okay, that's risky still. Grenadier's caught in negative cover. That's going to be a problem here for Price. The pack gun as well, kind of just in an awkward position, looking for the Vickers scout car, but not going to find it. And Sweden here taking a pretty nice engage. Price is managing to grab the middle VP, so at least something's going his way. But I got to say, I'm pretty impressed by Sweden's judgment in this on the way he's sculpted the early game so far. He got pretty unlucky donating the scout car to Price, but you know, he's rolling with that punch, and I like the position he's getting into now. Commando's being added to the roster. I said Commando's being, oh, of course they're in the glider. So Commando's in the glider, being added to the roster here shortly though. That's pretty spicy. Looks like Price going to be going for Panzer Grenadiers though. So both players adding some slightly more punchy infantry to their lineup. We'll have to see how they exchange. Did the Royal Engineers get killed? Oh man, the Royal Engineers got squad wiped somewhere. Oh, well that is a real shame for Elliot Roger Sweden. That's actually a big problem. That's going to put him behind. 36 supply under 51 right now, so Sweden definitely still fighting from behind, but he still has great map presence. If he can grab the right-hand fuel as well, that'll be really sick. Oh, he needs to defend this fuel though. That is like, he will need to be doing that. Anyway, the Commando is going to make themselves known. The Commando glider in a reasonable location. Remember that thing can reinforce squads, so worth protecting. Its position is quite strategic, let's put it that way. And I do like this position, although it's quite easy. Like a pack gun would only have to creep up to about here to be able to hit that. That's not too hard to do. Looks like we're going to see Flamer Clown Car tactics here coming out from CaptainSPrice. Going to be used to counter this Vickers in a building. Obviously they can't flame from inside the Bren because, well, that would just be horrendous. Yeah, using the Bren carrier as a transport there for the Flamer. Wow. Okay, so he gets the Vickers, and with the Vickers being destroyed, Price is now launching himself into a commanding position in this game. I mean, he's behind on score, 407 under 476, but he's ahead on composition, and he's ahead on just army size now. 28 supply under 50. Roger Sweden finds himself down. So, yeah, Price in a commanding position here. Now, the UKF, they have a lot of options, and he can come back from here, and he is stacking like 200 odd fuel. Still no company command. Quarter pounder anti-tank gun going to be coming on. Yes, I know, that's not called a quarter pounder. It's just force of habit. I mean, you've got to differentiate it somehow from all of the other guns with pounder in the name, and quarter pounder, it's a tasty name. What can I say?
It's a bit touch and go.
Looks like these commandos going to be like wanding. That's wending. Damn it! There's a word here that I can't remember what it is. Sometimes my brain does this thing where I know that a word exists that like fits like the purpose that I'm trying to use it for, but I just can't remember the word, or I can only remember the first letter. It's like a problem that only happened to me once I started learning Japanese. And I can remember the Japanese version just fine. That actually springs to my mind really quick. And then I'm just like, then I have to ask someone nearby who's like a native English speaker, like, hey, can you remind me there's a word for this and it begins with this letter, and here's the definition. Can you please tell me what this word is, because it's driving me mad. Anyway, it's something of a tangent, not actually strictly relevant to coming in. Pack gun here manages to find the Vickers. Is it going to get a second shot? Looks unlikely here. So Roger Sweden going to get away without the loss of another now 3-star vet upgraded unit. That would be a bit of a pill to swallow. Company command post is now starting. Fantastic. That's where we saw his fuel go. So I imagine we're going to see a Cromwell before long. I think it has to be Cromwell. It would be ambitious, in my opinion, to go for the Centaur. Because if your opponent goes with like a Panzer IV or something, then you're in a real bad place, I think. And the Cromwell is plenty good against infantry, like definitely good enough. And it's really the speed. It's really the speed that's the deciding factor here. Anyway, Roger Sweden, to his credit, despite being way behind in army size, maintaining great field presence, and until just now, has had Price under a double cap. So Price now down at 331 under 476, and that gives Sweden some time to work with here, so it's kind of okay for him to be behind. He does have time. He won't have much time, but he has a little here. So we'll see what he decides to do with it. Panzer Grenadier is going to be pushing forward, used in an anti-infantry role at this point. No double Shrek coming down on them, as we have seen Price do before, and used to great effect. Yeah, if you're a fan of CaptainSPrice, if you think that he brings the spice, then check out the previous videos on my channel, by the way. A couple of games featuring him, all of which are quite entertaining. So kind of mixed skirmishing going on here, as Roger Sweden just attempts to get the most value out of his units in this position as he can. Oh, Shreks do come down onto the Panzer Grenadiers, okay. So okay, Shreks on the Panzer Grenadiers. Ooh, this is rough, man. This Vickers Bren carrier is like getting pushed around the map by quite a few different units. His presence being policed considerably by the pack gun, now the double Shrek. And, whoa, you know what, we haven't checked in with the sharpshooter for some time, but up to 24 headshots on that man now, and 2 stars of vet. So definitely paying for himself. He's going to cap off another Royal Engineer. The boys from Wales going down, big holes in their head, as the sniper applies his deadly trade. And, okay, come on now, what's the choice from the company command post? Oh, the company command post is still under construction, yeah. So no choice yet, but I think this Cromwell can't come soon enough. Some stormtroopers here getting caught out pretty badly. They do have to retreat past some commandos and the Vickers Bren. The Vickers Bren going to come in for a little bit of a dive here. He really wants to pick up a squad wipe here, does Roger Sweden, and he gets it. So that's nice. If he can extract with the Bren carrier intact, then that was lovely. And it looks like he will. Where is the pack gun in all this? Okay, so the pack gun just sadly out of position there. It does rotate, but not in time to take a shot. And yeah, Roger Sweden here playing with some pretty deft hand, I've got to say. I'm liking his decision making. He's been a little unlucky here and there. I didn't see how he lost the first squad of Royal Engineers, but apart from that, yeah, he's doing a pretty good job in the face of a player who is an absolute brute. But CaptainSPrice now pushing uncontested in the west. And Gunner for the first time in what feels like a long time. Actually, it can't have been that long. But anyway, he's going to put the British player Roger Sweden under a double cap here, and that is that's what Price needs to be doing. Looks like the marksman going to be forced to fall back here. Tommy 5-man upgrade has finished some time ago. Actually, the Royal Engineers had 5-man upgrades. But anyway. And it will be a Cromwell for Roger Sweden. Now, Price has all the fuel in the world. He is almost drowning in fuel, and he has not gone for Battle Phase 2. And this is not a commander that offers you any kind of a call-in or anything like that. So, I wonder what Price is going to spend his fuel on here. Anyway, it looks like smoke bombardment going to come down here for the British player in this sector. An interesting choice, given that he doesn't really appear to be doing that much here. Not quite sure what's going on here, although it does enable these Tommies to kind of get up on top. Oh, bundle grenade! Oh, doing grievous damage to those Tommies, forces them back immediately.
Supply line's been cut.
So nice bundle grenade there from CaptainSPrice. Getting some commandos in up close onto these pioneers. Price gonna have to fall them back. The fallback comes down in good order. Now the Panzer Grenadiers are next on the chopping block. These commandos take no prisoners at these kinds of ranges. Smoke still playing havoc with the area, preventing the marksmen from chipping off any more of these Irish monsters. Here comes a grenade from the British player, but that's going to be a miss. Now here comes the Cromwell. Looks like immediately making its presence felt. Going to start chasing down some pioneers. No mines on the map that I've spotted so far. So for now, Roger Sweden probably going to be okay, but he does not have a detector, so mines would be a decent counter at this point. Pat gun in a lovely position. The Cromwell going to get forced back. Doesn't want to get that tagged by Fausts or indeed the double Shrek squad, who are out there somewhere. Actually, he's just sent them packing, so Roger Sweden knows that he'll need to contend with the Pat gun right now. But Pat gun putting some smart damage onto that Cromwell. That's going to have to fall back and repair for some time. So Roger Sweden just exposing it there to a couple of shots that I'd really rather he didn't. But times are desperate for him right now. Let's crack the tactical map and take an overview of the situation. You can see the situation. Price pushing on all fronts. Pretty much the only unit going unchecked right now is these Tommies, and there are units on the way to check this capping squad here for the British player. So Roger Sweden really under the gun in a really pretty nasty way here. Price just content to play with the first... Okay, finally he goes to Battle Phase 2. I was going to say, just content to play with the first 2 levels of tech here for the German forces. But no, he will go to at least a support armor corps. He may have been stacking up this fuel to leapfrog straight up to Battle Phase 3. We'll see if that's going to be the choice here momentarily. But establishing a triple cap for now, getting double fuel control momentarily here as Price. This game looks to be falling in order here for our German player. As we're so used to seeing things going Price's way, let's be real here. Let's turn on the magpie bias to max. Fantastic here, plays here from Price, who can do nothing wrong in the eyes of this caster. So yeah, Price, but I mean, let's face it, he does look pretty good in this game, as most. So, okay, Battle Phase 2 finishes, so we're either going to see a support armor company, or we're going to see Battle Phase 3 here, like, at some point in the momentary.
We're ready for orders.
Cromwell getting repaired up, ought to be done like soonish, but Sweden is in a super bad place. He has nearly no resources to his name. The TAC map looks like this. Anybody who's not like... what I'm saying is you don't need a caster to interpret this tactical map. It's as bad as it looks right now for our northern spawning player. And, okay, well, the Cromwell's ready. It's going to move out onto the map. I don't like sending out first without any infantry to screen or check for pack guns or even mines or anything like that, but he's going to come across here. It looks like this ambush camo being super annoying on the stormtroopers here. Is that on Panzer Grenadiers? Oh, ambush camo comes on Encirclement Doctrine? Oh, wow. Oh, I did not know that. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, that's brutal. Oh, my goodness me. Who decided it would be a good idea to let CaptainSPrice have camo on his basic Wehrmacht infantry units? That is... actually, like, it's pretty spicy. Cromwell does get tagged by a Faust, but it wasn't damaged enough for that to break the engine, so the British tank going to be able to operate unhindered here for a little while longer. Marksman here up to 32 kills, 3 stars of veterancy. What an absolute brute. just everything kind of going Price's way right now. Support Armor Corps is indeed the choice, not Battle Phase 3, and a Panzer IV will be coming momentarily. And there is a good chance that with a single good engagement and a couple of squad wipes, Price might just be able to end this game with that Panzer IV in the near future. We'll have to see. 20 minutes into this game right now, 3-2-4 to 3-2-8. The scoreline deceptively close, but the situation on the map deceptively... Oh, not deceptively close, let's put it that way. And, yeah, Price's army just kind of a little better right now, a little bigger.
Sector artillery is ready for use,
And
Commander.
it's going to be a tough one here for E.R.Sweden to come back. But he does have some time. He still does have some time. And he's been able to actually get a double cap established. He's so tenacious. His decision-making and like the way he moves his units around the map. I haven't really been focusing on it too much. I've just been like commenting on how good it is. But yeah, this is a hard thing to do when your opponent's kind of this far ahead. Anyway, here comes a Panzer IV, so we're going to have a tank battle. Or are we? As the Cromwell gets critically caught out of position in the arc of 4 Panzerschrecks and a Pak 40. Oh my god, this is instant death for a British medium tank. So he needs to GTFO. That he will do, but that's not actually far enough. You got to get this round behind your base because, yeah, if I was Price, I wouldn't be afraid to push my AT into range, and that is what he's going to do. The Shrek's going to be able to find a shot here. No, the Panzer IV going to get greedy and chase in, but is it really that greedy? No, because the only other AT support here is a quarter pounder, and that won't be able to shoot through the British base. Whoa, the main gun gets destroyed, so that changes everything up. And now this Cromwell, kind of okay. He's going to micro it back forwards. All he has to protect it from are these Panzer Grenadiers, and they're getting suppressed now. How? What? What? The Cromwell gets the finishing shot into this Panzer IV, and everything goes wrong for Price. What? Okay, so I don't think I actually disagree with Price's decision-making there. I think he got a touch unlucky in that tank battle with the shots there, but you can never underestimate a Cromwell, man. They're so good. They are so good. Honestly, I don't know if it's just me, but like many a time have I 1v1'd a Panther with a Cromwell, you know? If you get that tank up on top of your opponent, it's so fast, it's so mobile, it's so happy shooting on the move. You can stay around in the back and sides of that Panther and be a real annoyance. And here we've seen just how efficient it can be. Like that Cromwell was on like no health, and it was still able to take out a Panzer IV just because its hits were just consistently hitting and penetrating and doing damage. The Panzer IV, okay, getting a little unlucky, but whoa, damn. Price though is a fortunate man. He's very rich, able to replace that tank immediately, so there's already another Panzer IV on the field. Looks like a Centaur going to be the next fuel unit of choice here for E.R.Sweden. Going to be diversifying his armor roster here with a heavy anti-infantry choice, and I don't mind that. Most of Price's strength right now is in these vetted up, heavily equipped infantry squads, so if the Centaur is able to get a squad wipe or two, that's how you start turning the game around here for Sweden. So yeah, I like that choice, Panzer IV going to make itself known here, so Sweden immediately comprehends the peril that he is in. Going to be second Panzer IV. Uh-oh, his 3-star vet commandos for sure going to be hung out to dry here. That's a bitter pill. That is a bitter pill to swallow there. A bitter loss to take. But let's crack the tack here. Sweden, man, he's got some map presence again. He's at 322 over 297. He's managing this game. I mean, it is by the skin of his teeth, but he is still in this. This is actually kind of close-ish. No, he cancelled the Centaur, going to be going for a second Cromwell, and I think I like this better, because Cromwells are still, like, good against tanks, good against infantry, and they are, like, much better against this Panzer IV, so 2 Cromwells against Panzer IV, oh my goodness me, Cromwells are just so good. They're definitely the best medium tank in the game, and let's face it, the tank commander upgrade is just, like, decent, man, that is a good upgrade. How much does it cost these days? 25 munitions. Ooh. It's just value, man. Such value. I think Price might want to start thinking about putting some mines down, actually, because, like, I don't know. I just feel like if this Cromwell's engine ever gets broken, it's instantly dead because there's 4 Panzerschrecks and a Pak 40 on the field. Whoa! Cromwell comes all the way round into the rear armor. Oh, it's a Cromwell spit roast, and the Panzer IV is the unfortunate victim here, as these 2 British mediums going to park on up, and that will be the killing blow. It's just like I knew that wasn't going to miss, man. Cromwells with tank commanders just know, you know the shots are going to do damage sometimes. It just feels like it's just, they cannot fail. Anyway, looks like he's going to lose one of these Cromwells for his trouble, but, you know, that's not the, what the smoke. Oh my goodness me, and the Pak 40 misses. if this Cromwell gets away, okay, no it doesn't. Panzerschreck from the Panzer Grenadiers gonna finish it off. I was gonna say, that had to be a trade scenario there. But I mean, if we look at the fuel investments, right, the score right now is 2 Panzer IVs destroyed by Roger Sweden for 1 Cromwell destroyed by CaptainSPrice. So the armor battle, our British player here, Roger Sweden, is totally winning. His infantry lineup, I even don't mind too much. 1 squad commandos, 3 squads Tommies, with weapon rack upgrades, a couple of Bren guns peering on those dudes now. Boys from Wales here, the Royal Engineers, and a quarter pounder, pretty decent. CaptainSPrice going to be grabbing himself another Panzer IV, but I'm not sure. I like a 3rd Panzer IV here. I don't know, I think it might be best to invest in like another pack gun and just try and go for Battle Phase 3 and try and change things up a bit. Because these Panzer IVs have not been very valuable. I think Roger Sweden has shown that he... Well, having said that, the Panzer IVs... I think the first Panzer IV was unlucky. So actually, maybe I don't mind another Panzer IV. It's a tough decision. It's a tough decision. I mean, I'm not CaptainSPrice, so I don't have his skill and judgment, and I have my own playstyle, which is obviously going to be different from Price's anyway. But I, in this situation, would always probably rather try and save my fuel, like manage the armor situation with another pack gun, because like 2 Pack 40s and 2 Panzer Grenadier squads is like fine for dealing with a couple of Cromwells. You know, you can at least keep them at bay and stop them being ruthlessly efficient with that kind of a roster. And then save up for like, try and save for a Panther, or like something, or even maybe a brace of Stugs, like I may even put like, you know, 2 Stugs. Anyway, CaptainSPrice taking some hits to his infantry roster. His army size now getting a little small now, 47 under 53. Going to be adding an MG42 to the roster here, planning to play slightly more defensively. Looks like the Commando glider, by the way, for those interested, was landed up here slightly in a slightly more northern position. And I think that will be more defensible. I think landing it in this position on this map is just too hard to defend. An opponent with a pack gun will knock that down in no time. And Roger Sweden here just playing a very sweet game, I've got to say. He got so unlucky at the start by donating a Bren carrier. And if there's one player you don't want to give a fast, cheeky unit to, it's CaptainSPrice. You know, he's the kind of player who's going to be able to leverage that so much. He did in this game, you know. But CaptainSPrice has lost his marksman, he's lost some of his Grenadier squads. His infantry roster is looking a little bit lopsided now. I don't like the balance so much. He needs like another Grenadier squad, basically, to toe the line. But he can't afford it right now. Cromwell's going to get up on top of his 3rd Panzer. Quarter pounder in the hood, hitting into the side armor. Pack 40 is here, but it's not with the appropriate orientation. The Cromwell gets around it. Panzer IV, that's the 3rd one, goes down, and this Cromwell is going to GTFO here. It's going to be able to exfiltrate safely. And with every one of these tank exchanges, there's a 2nd Cromwell coming. I'm genuinely worried for CaptainSPrice now. Uh-oh, because there's 2 Cromwells on the field, and his infantry lineup is like not enough. He loses the Pack 40 here. He should be able to grab that again if he wants it. A couple of, you know, he could grab it. You never want to recrew these guns with Panzergrens, except under very, very specific circumstances. So he's going to try and get some Pioneers over here, I would imagine, to try and recrew that one. But this is just looking dire. He needs to recrew that Pack 40 to have a chance in this game, I feel, because this is getting really, really, really brutal for the German player. CaptainSPrice looked so good in the early game and in the early mid game, but I mean, this mid game has really turned, man. Roger Sweden playing the British forces to their strengths, and it's pretty cool to see. Making decent use of this commander as well, actually. The smoke was really interesting when he used it here. That kind of enabled some commandos to try and make a move. Okay, in the end it wasn't that impactful, but you could see the potential there. And the commando gliders, the one in mid, the one in north, both being pretty useful, and of course just the commando units themselves. You know, the first squad made it to 3-star vet, okay, then it was gunned down, but he's got a 2nd squad of commandos out in the field now, so we'll see what he's able to do with those. The scoreline, 2-2-7 for our German player CaptainSPrice, under the 3-1-8 of the British player Elliot Roger Sweden. So that's where we're at on the scoreline differential here. Price with a lot of work to do, but he's had a couple of minutes to lick his wounds down. He's got out 2 MG42s, which is, you know, that's pretty efficient infantry roster. He's still got the raw AT muscle needed to deal with the Cromwells. He's still got, you know, 4 Panzerschrecks on vetted Panzergren squads. He's still got the pack gun, which he's just managed to recrew with, what does he recruit that with? Does he recruit that with Pioneers? Yeah, they're recruited with Pioneers, so that's fantastic. It looks funny, doesn't it, what you want to do. Those are Pioneers, right? Tell me those are Pioneers. Yeah. So anyway, Roger Sweden here, still going to be applying pressure in mid. Also has a Cromwell lancing out down the left flank here. Going to just try and push back any Axis forces from over here. Open the area for capturing by a couple of squads of British infantry here. Oh, this is annoying. These guys aren't actually capturing this because they're technically not in the line, so that is frustrating there. Roger Sweden, I'm sure, will be on top of that momentarily. And is going to continue the show here. Roger Sweden up to like 120 odd fuel. In another minute or two, he'll have another choice. He could opt to go for Comet. Has he gone for a hammer? Hammer and anvil, neither taken. So he could, if he really fancies being fancy, go for a Comet. I think a Firefly is also fine. I mean, third Cromwell is also super tempting at this point. Third Cromwell represents a ton of shoving power, but here we have a Cromwell being caught in a bad position. I don't know if that was ambush camo being used or not, but the Pack 40 rotates and it's all on this shot. A Commando glider just smashes on in. And the Cromwell sneaks away. My voice is struggling a bit here, but I'm literally amazed that Cromwell isn't going to escape. Okay, this Cromwell surely then must be forfeit. There's so many Shreks here. Oh, the pack gun goes down because there's brand gun Tommies in buildings everywhere. What? That might be game. That might be game. That just might be game.
Down to 200 points.
How? Okay. Sorry, I'm a little speechless. Okay, so to recap what happened there, okay? Both of the Cromwells escape on, like, slivers of health. Both under 20%. Both under 10%, it looks like. And Price takes, like, massive losses to his AT forces. There's a MG42 on the floor here. There's a pack gun on the floor here. He's still under a double cap. His resources are now trailing his Price. He's flatlining on manpower because he's having to reinforce all these squads. He's going to buy a Stug and try and hold in this game. But I think we're looking... Oh, there's a third Cromwell coming. I think we are looking at long odds here now for Price to be winning. The two Cromwells lined up in a semi-risky position, but they should be okay. I would much rather they were parked behind the base here because these are both one-hits. So this is actually a little dangerous here from Sweden. But I guess he feels secure because his forces are just out on the map, so he would have advanced warning if any German AT forces were making a push for his main. So I guess that's fine. Yeah, I think as long as Roger, you know, just carefully guides this game home, he should be good to go here. This is looking like his game now, like considerably. But we'll see. You know, CaptainSPrice hasn't left this game yet, and if CaptainSPrice thinks he can still win, then you know I'm certainly not going to disagree. Thunderoo grenade comes down here, but it's not going to be enough. Man, my mouse has been glitchy AF today. Just glitchy AF. I do hope it's not too bad for you viewers. Just occasionally it seems to like just dive down to the bottom left, which if I'm mouse scrolling or doing anything at all just flails the camera away from what we were looking at. So it is being a bit of an issue. Having some issues with the old hardware here as Magpie. It's never been an issue before, I promise you. I think something like, you know, 2 out of 5 men suffer problems with their hardware from time to time. It's nothing to be ashamed of, lads. Anyway, so, okay, Price going to be pushing here on the left flank. Going to grab him or maintain his control over this VP. What is going on here? Commando's getting suppressed by an MG42. Really nothing to write home about though. Triple Cromwell is now active on the map. I'd love another squad of Royal Engineers actually, so the repairs on these Cromwells could be a little more timely, but it's not the end of the world. Stug going to come forward here. This is ambitious. This is a very far forward Stug. What? This Stug could just get spit roasted by horrendous amounts of Cromwells here. Price has to know that. So he is being very ballsy with this Stug. Is this a bait Stug? What is he trying to set up here? Oh my god, and there's so much smoke here. These commandos and Tommies with Bren guns are actually pretty dangerous when all your dudes are carrying Panzerschreck. And the Stug will get spitly roasted here. Spittily roasted. That's what's going to happen here. Both the Cromwells just going to do their thing all over this poor Stug. And I feel like that has to be game. Is there any way back for Price from this? I mean, there goes the Stug. Boom. And if he gets this, I mean, the commandos are on top of this, falling back. Panzer Grenadier. Yeah, and that is going to be the game. Wow! Wow! Oh, super well played here. Elliot, Roger, Sweden. Taking a win here from CaptainSPrice. What a fantastic game to have just jumped in and been able to cast. I have to say, I came into this very very nonchalant, is that the phrase? You know, just very, very blasé. Just imagining CaptainSPrice, just that we were going to see another spectacular display of his prowess in this game. But Elliot, Roger, Sweden, just just a really good game, because let's not forget, he got super unlucky in the early game, donating a scout car, or a Bren carrier, I should say, to his opponent, and suffering a game where, you know, the opening German marksman was able to get up to, like, nearly 40, I didn't even see, maybe 50 kills by the end, and Price just in a really good position there. But the moment when the game really turned, let's be real, was when the first Cromwell was on its last legs, pushing back into the base, and Price had, like, in this position here, he had pack gun and ×2 Panzer Grenadiers with double Panzerschreck and some veterancy. And those units were advancing like this, and the Cromwell was parked like around here, I think, and the Panzer IV also came in. And that was like, I agree with Price's decision making. That was like a no-brainer. Well, not a no-brainer, but that was just a good opportunity, relatively risk-free, to push in with overwhelming anti-tank resources and poach your opponent's wounded medium tank at a stage in the game where that would have been like a crucial tipping point. And what happened? Pardon me. Well, somehow, Price manages to lose his Panzer IV, and did he lose the pack gun as well? I can't remember if he lost the pack gun at that moment. But anyway, he lost his Panzer IV. That's the most important point. And from then, the game was just super open, and Elliot Sweden drove it home with 3 Cromwells to just a spectacular success. I have to say, I was impressed with that. I think 3 Cromwells was the correct decision making. I think he recognised that CaptainSPrice could not deal with escalating amounts of awesomely efficient British medium tanks. Not with his infantry configuration that he was left with, and not with the low numbers of Panzer IVs. He was always going to be 1 Panzer IV behind at that point. And there was another point where the 2nd Panzer IV, I think, got like traded out. I think this might be its corpse here. Got traded out by the 2 Cromwells. And that, I think, was going to be a trade. Like, the British player, Sweden, set that up as a trade, where he was going to trade a Cromwell for a Panzer IV. But when you've got 2 Cromwells and your opponent has 1 Panzer IV, that means the end result is you still have a tank left and your opponent doesn't, which is great if you want to just keep leaning and applying pressure and building Cromwells. That's the position you want to be in. You want to make sure your opponent never equalizes in armor. So, anyway. But he actually got out of that with, like, with both of his Cromwells through amazing use of the smoke shell on those Cromwells, and to block the Pack 40. And, let's be real, quite a lot of very good luck, because getting this Panzer IV up in the base and not losing your Cromwell, that is down to a lot of RNG on the shots on both those tanks, whether they hit, whether they penetrate if they hit, and Sweden coming out there ahead. And also down here, he got out with both of his Cromwells because the Pack 40 missed the one shot it had at the rear armour of the very wounded Cromwell that would have destroyed it. So some things going Sweden's way here, some RNG events going his way, but you have to consider the Cromwell is a horrendously efficient medium tank. Its gun has a great damage, rate of fire, incredible accuracy, often, almost always seems to penetrate Panzer IVs. And so coming in with a Panzer IV, if there's any medium tank that's going to take that fight and flip it around and somehow take out a Panzer IV, it is the Cromwell, and the Cromwell managed to get the weapon destroyed on that Panzer IV, and that's what changed it all around. So a lot of RNG here going Elliot Sweden's way, but also a lot of cracking decision-making. I don't want to take anything away from his win here. He was quite far behind. And, you know, whilst we're talking about RNG, you know, the RNG on losing his opening Bren carrier to his opponent, you know, it does swing both ways. So anyway, what a win here, taken by our British player. Fantastic game. That does conclude this replay. Thank you all very much for watching. And this for now, Magpie842 signing out.